I want to elaborate on my last video, which talked of complete success. That success, real success, is all embracing and permeates every aspect of our lives. In particular, I want to come back to what prompted that video in the first place. The fact that a couple of people had said to me, I crave a man or I crave a woman. Our relationships can be fraught, but clearly there are some people who believe themselves incapable of forming a relationship with someone of the opposite sex in the first place at all. I suppose all you have to look at is the rise in dating agencies on the internet as evidence enough that there are people out there who just can't stroll up to somebody feeling relaxed and say, let's see, let's go out, let's do something together and see where it takes us. What I want to point out is that I was that jerk, as somebody described himself to me last week. I was that person incapable of strolling up to somebody that I thought I might fancy. I was shy, I was gauche. As a friend of mine who shared an office with me 25 years ago would tell everybody at the time, I used to come into the office, put my head in my hands and moan, oh God, I need a woman. Now, I never actually said that, not those exact words, but the sentiment is pretty much spot on. I suppose I was at the point of craving too. Why am I telling you this? Because it specifically relates to the point that gave rise to last week's video, and it specifically leads me back to the point that I made in last week's video, that when you're in flow, what you want, what you need out of life flows to you. But I need to explain that just a little bit more. Flow is that state of mind when you're inspired, when you find the solutions to problems that have been addling you effortlessly. When you most likely to find the solution to a problem, when you're not thinking about it, when you're engrossed in doing something else. When you are engrossed in what you're doing, when you're so much in the flow of the moment, when you're so much in flow that you don't even realize that you're in flow, then things flow for you. I met my one and only girlfriend, who is now my wife, 25 years ago, when I was in full flow. It was at a point in my life where I'd been thrown off the deep end in my career, having to do things that I'd never had to do before. I was on a tour of speaking engagements and literally ran into a hotel to make a large presentation at about 8 o'clock one evening, totally engrossed in what I was doing, totally mindful of the job in hand. And in that totally clear state of mind, it never occurred to me that the girl to whom I went up and said we need to go out together might be one of those girls that I feared approaching. I just did it because my mind was totally in flow. That's what I'm talking about. You need to be so engrossed in what you're doing that all good things simply flow to you. If you have a hang-up, say I crave a man or I crave a woman, that craving, that hang-up, is actually going to break flow completely. As I said in last week's video, if you have experienced flow in some aspect of your life, you know what flow feels like. So therefore you need to cultivate your ability to be in flow. Flow means you're engrossed in the here and now. Flow means that there is no part of your mind available to think that you're a jerk, to think that you're shy, to think that you crave, to think any of the useless thoughts that get in the way of flow. When we are in flow, everything in our lives is in flow too. As people who, as far as we know at the moment, only have one shot at life. And I don't mean one shot at this particular life. Your one shot at life is this moment. You could be dead in 5 minutes. There's people who only have one shot at life. And that one shot has to be taken in the here and now, the only place and time where life can be lived. We should make it our business to be in flow. Because then, if we go back to the start of this video, you won't crave man, you won't crave a woman anymore. You'll simply flow into your soul mate. I know, been there, done that, as I said, and now I wear the t-shirt every day. And it is a wonderful place to be.